A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus revealed himself again to his disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. He revealed himself in this way. Together were Simon Peter, Thomas called Didymus, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, Zebedee's sons, and two others of his disciples. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing." They said to him, "We will also come with you." So they went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. When it was already dawn, Jesus was standing on the shore. But the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, "Children, have you caught anything to eat?" They answered him, "No." So he said to them, "Cast the net over the right side of the boat, and you will find something." So they cast it and were not able to pull it in because of the number of fish. So the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It is the Lord." When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he tucked in his garment, for he was lightly clad, and jumped into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, for they were not far from shore, only about 100 yards, dragging the net with the fish. When they climbed out on shore, they saw a charcoal fire with fish in it and bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish you have just caught." So Simon Peter went over and dragged the net ashore, full of 153 large fish. Even though there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come, have breakfast." And none of the disciples dared to ask him, "Who are you?" because they realized it was the Lord. Jesus came over and took the bread and gave it to them, and in like manner the fish. This was now the third time Jesus was revealed to his disciples after being raised from the dead. In this gospel that we have for the Friday in the octave of Easter, we have one of the resurrection stories, one of these mysterious appearances we see of Jesus after he has been raised from the dead. And in these stories, it seems a lot of times that there's this moment where it takes a while to recognize who Jesus is. The disciples see the stranger approach, and even though they know that something is different about this stranger, they can't necessarily say what until suddenly their eyes are opened and they can see Jesus in front of them. With each of these resurrection narratives, something new is revealed about Jesus. In the story that we had on Easter, we have this sudden knowledge that, oh my goodness, Jesus is raised from the dead, and how amazing and wonderful this is. And here in today's gospel, we have, yes, the affirmation that Jesus is here with us in the flesh, literally coming to sit with us to eat a meal, but also the reassurance of how Jesus cares and sustains us. Peter and the fellow disciples went out in order to try to fish, to carry out the work that they believed that they were called to do. But they were unsuccessful until Jesus appears on the shore. And suddenly, Jesus' appearance makes possible this amazing catch of 153 large fish. Without Jesus, the disciples were unable to catch anything throughout the long night. But with Jesus, they catch the fish, and Jesus literally feeds them here on the beach. And in like manner, when we can recognize the presence of the risen Christ here among us today, we also can have our eyes opened, and we also can find that the ways that Jesus is still with us here today, nourishing us and sustaining us as we go forth and continue the work to which we are called, our service of our neighbors, whether in our homes or in our communities.